Forza Horizon really raised the bar on how good an open world racing game should be. It raised the bar on how good an open world racing game can look. I remember PS4 owners going out and buying Xbox One consoles just because of Forza Horizon. With its success, we've had other developers trying to make similar games. Ubisoft had some success with Crew Motorfest. That was a decent game. And now we got Piloton taking a crack at it with Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. I'll just start off by saying this is a bad game. It has a lot of potential, but with the crazy amount of bugs it has, the always online requirement, the grindy and forced progression system, most people aren't gonna like it. Sure, the game can look decent at times when you're standing still, but when you're actually racing, it looks like a PS3 game at times. It also runs horribly with frequent performance issues. If you still decide to pick it up though, which console will it work the best on? So let's talk about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown on Xbox Series S versus Series X versus PlayStation 5. The game's 46 gigabytes on Xbox Series S and X and about 44 gigabytes on PS5. I didn't do a loading time comparison here since it's an always online game. You need to be connected at all times. I get this game's meant to be social, where you should encounter other players when you're roaming the open world. You should see other players joining in your regular progression races, but no one's really playing this game. It's dead. During my hours of gameplay, I only ran into a few players during the free roam and none during racing. In terms of the graphics, it's not the best looking racing game. It can look outdated at times. On Xbox Series S, there are no graphic modes. Just like the Crew Motorfest, this game gets 30 FPS only on the Series S. Series X and PS5 do get two modes, one being of course this 30 FPS quality mode. Resolution targets around 1080p dynamic on the Series S and 1440p dynamic on Series X and PS5. But the native resolution falls well short of those targets on all three consoles. The biggest thing you'll notice here is how different PS5 looks compared to Xbox. There's something odd going on with the lighting on PS5, the colors. I mean, it's not my HDR. The game looks a lot more vibrant and the lighting, the reflections look better on Xbox. In terms of performance, this quality mode is locked to 30 FPS, and when you're playing in this chase third-person view like most people are gonna, it's not too bad. Sure, there's a drop here and there, but overall it's pretty good. When you do switch to this in-dash camera, things go horribly wrong. The frame rate on Series S starts to stutter with significant drops. The roads get super blurry, it's hard to see anything. Xbox Series X and PS5 aren't as bad in quality mode. The roads do get blurry and it's hard to see, but those consoles are locked to 30 FPS for the most part without any major drops. Now let's talk about that performance mode, which you only get on Xbox Series X and PS5. Frame rate gets bumped to 60 FPS, but the resolution drops, details in the graphics are lower, the lighting is worse, the textures are different. The game of course doesn't look as good. But I mean, you really have to zoom in 4 times to notice the difference if you're watching this on YouTube. In terms of performance, the FPS, it's not too bad at times, close to 60 FPS in that chase third-person view. Sure, there are drops. Here's a single drop on Xbox, here's one on PS5, and here's a couple of drops on PS5. So close to 60 with some drops into the 50s. Now that completely changes in certain situations. Here's off-road racing, 60 FPS, not too bad when you're in that chase camera, but switch to the in-car view and bang, performance tanks. Xbox Series X still manages to stay close to 60 with some minor screen tearing, but PlayStation 5, that's all over the place. 50 FPS, 40 FPS, even as low as 30 FPS, it's pretty rough. And your point of view, it just gets really blurry. It's hard to see anything when you're racing like this. By the way, in terms of this same scenario, there are drops also on the Series S, of course, which can't get past that 30 FPS anyways. So that's what you need to know about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown on Xbox Series S versus X versus PS5. It looks bad, performs bad, and has a lot of bugs. Do I have anything good to say about this game? Well, after you spend a bunch of hours on it, you get used to the looks, you get used to the performance, and trying to chase that progression, leveling up, it can get a bit addictive. This game really stops you, locks you out from driving new cars until you reach a certain level, and that really keeps you going and wanting to level up higher and higher. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown has potential, but for now this game's a 5 out of 10. For the rest of the video, check out some more gameplay with that FPS counter shown.